back. Today in this video we are going to see the demo about conversational language understanding with Language Studio in Azure AI services. So before I'm going to the demo, okay, let us first understand what is this conversational understanding and where it is exactly used. Conversational understanding refers to the ability of AI system to comprehend and process human language input, whether in a text or a spoken form, and generate appropriate meaning responses. You can take an example of Alexa. So what actually happens, you are talking something to Alexa, that is what the human interaction. Okay, so this is like we are a human, we are talking to Alexa here. So what Alexa is doing, it is understanding our input, process something, and it is giving back the output for us based on whatever we ask. Okay, and so this is what this capability allows AI system to engage in natural human like interaction, enabling them to understand context, intent, and everything in the conversation. So that is what we are going to see how we are going to do this here. So the better example is what Alexa home automation, like AI agents can control smart home devices, allowing users to manage their home environment through voice commands. So that is another example. Okay, so what is a real time scenario here? We let us say like a human interaction. Okay, user is interacting. Hey Alexa, can you turn on the living room lights and set the thermostat to 72 degree? So you cannot tell this to Alexa. Imagine that you are talking to your home assistant. Okay, hey assistant, can you turn on the living room? So what, once a human is interacting with the home assistant, okay, imagine this is a home assistant. So what happened, once you tell something, the AI system use conversational understanding here to parse the user's command. The user's command will be parsed. It identifies the intent. Here we will be talking about intent, which is an important keyword here. So what is that intent? We are asking to turn on the living room lights is the intent, and set the thermostat to 72 degree is the intent. And it extract the entities living room. What are the entities? Okay, we'll be seeing entities, intent, and everything. Entities is what and where it has to do all these things. It has to do living room. Okay, it has to do everything in the living room. It has to go and set the thermostat, and it has to do 72 degree. Okay, these are all the entities. So the AI will send command to the appropriate smart home devices. So it has to send the smart home devices to the living room, and inside the living room it has to set the thermostat, like lights. Living room lights has to be on, and thermostat to be set to 72 degree. Okay, so the AI will send command to the appropriate smart home devices to perform the requested action, and assistant will respond like sure. So what will happen, the assistant will respond like sure, the living room lights are now on and the thermostat is set to 72 degree. Okay, so this is how actually this will happen. Okay, so this is what we are going to see how we are going to do it with the help of Azure AI services. So this is a complete demo series. So what we have to do is, what first thing, very first step is you have to go ahead with the creating you have to create a resource group. Okay, so where you have to create a resource, so you can go and create a resource on the language service. We have a language service, so this is actually the language service. You can select this language and create a resource group. I have already created, I'm just going to show you like how you have to create. Just go to the language, click on the language, click on this create. Okay, once if you click create, it will ask you what you want to do. Okay, so if you want to go with a conversational and everything, you can select this. Okay, or you can select both the thing, no problem. And then you have to click on this continue create a resource. Okay, I'll just show you the steps, and then you have to select what resource group you want. If you don't have any resource group, you can create it here. Okay, create new, you can select create new. If you have an existing one, you can select that. Name, you have to give the proper name. You have to select the region. By default, keep it at east, keep it as east us. Okay. Name, you can give it like demo something. Okay. Conversational language demo, so something you can give. And what is the pricing tier? If you have only free tier, go ahead with the free, or else you can go ahead with the standard tier. Okay, either way is fine. So just click on this, and you have to do another one. One is the customer answering, because we have selected both, right, for custom question and answering, and also for the custom classification and custom named entity, everything. So for custom question and answering, if you have selected only custom question and answering, so you have to select the search region. Okay, search region and search pricing tier. So you have these pricing tier. You can learn about these pricing tier from here. If you want, I can share this link with you. So these are all the pricing tiers on how you have to use it. Okay, if it is a standard S1, if you're going with a standard S1, what you have, what is the pricing tier for that? Okay, so this is standard S1, 160 GB. Okay, per hour. So this is for per hour it is showing, and this is for standard S2, standard S3, standard S4. Next, if you come down, you can see pricing details, everything here. Okay, so this is what the details about, and it is showing for south central US. If you go with west US, you can see what is the pricing per hour and everything. You can see how the pricing works. Okay, so this is how you can just change and see the pricing rate. So this is what the pricing rate. And if you are going to use any custom text classification, all these things, you have to create a storage account, because you have to tell, you can train the model like on what it has to create a bot, because in the previous session we have created a bot, right? So how it has to do it, in order to store something, you have to create a storage account. If you have an existing storage account, you can go ahead and select existing storage account and select the existing one, or else you can create a new one if you wanted to create it. So you have to give the storage account name and also the type of storage. So you can learn about what are these types of storage and everything. Okay, what is the standard, what is a premium LRS, what is premium LRS, ZRS. Okay, so everything is available here in this link, so you can learn about it. So what to choose and how to choose, we will be discussing after completing all these demo, because we are just focusing on the demo on how to do that. So after doing this one, you have to select this particular, you have to check this particular option, and then click review and create. Your thing will be created. Okay, your language service will be created. So once it is created, you can click on that particular language, whatever you have created. So this is what I have already created, the conversational language demo. You can find it, just scroll down. So you can see here language studio. Okay, so this is what you have to click, get started with the language studio. Just click on this, get started with the language studio. It will take you to language.cognitive.azure.com. So this is what the place where you have to go ahead, and from here we are going to create this intent entity, whatever I told, right? So all these things we'll be creating. Okay, so here you can see, either you can just click on this create new. Okay, and you can see conversational language understanding. So you can find it here, that it shows build natural language into apps, bots, and IoT. So already we have discussed about the custom question and answering in the previous session. So now we are going to discuss about the conversational language understanding. So either you can click on the conversational understanding, or else you can click on this one. Okay, conversational language understanding. So either way is fine. So let us just go ahead and click on conversational language understanding. So it will ask you for the basic details. Okay, so you have to create a project, conversational project. Okay, so I'm creating a name, conversational understanding project, and what is the utterance primary language, on what how you will be talking to the bot or IoT. So English, I will go with the default. If you want to try with something else, you can also try that. Okay, if you want to enable multiple languages in the project, you can enable that. And if you wanted to go ahead with the description, if you want to write some description to that, then you can go ahead. As of now, I'm just disabling that. Okay, this multiple, enable multiple things. Click next. So it will show you these are all the description, these are all the properties which you have selected. Click create. So your conversational language will start creating. Okay, so as we discussed, I talked about entities and intents, right? So this is what the intent and this is what the entity. You can see you have to tell what are the intents you will be talking, you will be asking for, and what are the entities. Okay, so intent is what? It's an action you want to perform. For example, if you want to switch on a light or you want to turn off a fan, in this case you have two intents. Okay, one is switch on a device and another one is switch off a device. So switch on and off. Okay, turn on and off, set the temperature. So this is what the intent. What is an action? So you can specify a sample utterances for that. Okay, which indicates something like that. So let us first create some intent. Okay, so what you can do is, what you can go to here, this is the schema definition. Okay, you can check here all these things here. You have to first define the schema what you wanted to do, and you can see this is intent, this is entity. So let us click on the intent and add the intent here. So you have to click this add, check that you are in intent. Okay, click on this add. So it will ask you, so what intent? Okay, so here it is showing intent is a action or a task, it has to do something for you. So what intent you have to do? So I'm just doing like switch on. Okay, I want to switch on. Switch on is what? Actually it's an intent. Okay, and you have to give the intent with the lowercase. Okay, switch on, so you have to make it as a lowercase. So you can even make it as underscore. Okay, if you want to go ahead with switch on, or else you can even go ahead with the direct one. So select that is, if you can give like a switch on, it will take you to the data labeling page. Once if you click on this, intent, add intent. Okay, click on any intent and that is the action. Whatever the action you want to create, just click create a action. Now you have one intent created. Okay, now you have to label that, you have to give something. So once if you click on that, it will go for data labeling. Okay, so what is the data labeling? You have to add the utterance, like anyone who is telling switch on. Okay, then you can turn on, you can make it as a turning on, put it on. Okay, switch it on, anything. So you have to give some data labeling for that. That is what it is, what data labeling. The in the intent you can just select, the switch on, and then it will, you can see here, this is what. Okay, let me just make it bigger. So here you can see, okay, here you can see this is a intent. Okay, this is a drop down. If you have multiple, you can create multiple actions. Okay, so if you just click on this intent, you can see you have created this intent, right? So switch on, or else you can also create a new intent here. I'm just clicking on the switch on. If that switch on is coming, like if someone is talking about the switch on. Okay, so how the utterance, like how you have to make something, like what is the utterance may happen, what are the possible utterances. Okay, so switch on, switch on the fan, press enter. Okay, you can see if someone is telling switch on, you can switch on the fan. And put second what you can write is what, turn the fan on. Okay, the second one, if this one occurrence is coming, and what are the possible utterances may happen, put the lights on. Okay, turn the light on, switch on the light. Okay, switch on the light. For one intent you may add more utterances to that. Okay, so what is that? Utterances indicate the kind of language used to indicate that intent. Okay, so you can add many things for one single utterance. Okay, so this is what the utterance is. So you can just make it one utterance. Okay, this is what switch, and this is another utterance. So switch light, switch on the light, all these things. Okay, and for this you can add an entity. Okay, after you label all these things on the labeling entities for training, so you can find the right side, you can add the entities here. Okay, so you can click on add entity. So what is that entity? Which is an item or an element which are relevant to the user's intent or goal. Okay, so you can add an entity name, like where it has to go and do that. Okay, so here you're talking about what? You're talking about the light. Yes, so that is what the entity, it's a device or something. Okay, it's an entity, you're adding an entity here, so this is a device. Okay, so you can make an entity here. So there is a device, light, you can create an entity here. Okay, so you can make it like this. So we have added an entity. Okay, so here we have I have a device and light. If you wanted to go ahead with the fan, everything, so that is a device, right? Everything a device. So what we are going to do now is what you have to map the utterances here, like what are the entity you have created, right? So you have to map it here. Okay, so once if you click on this, no, you can see this light. Okay, so this light is what? This is actually a device. Okay, so you have to map it. This is a device, you have to tell this is a device. Okay, you can tell this is a device, you have to tell that. Okay, this is what the basic training you have to do it for this particular language. So do that, click on device. Okay, now what is the intent? Switch on. Utterances, put on the fan. Okay, and the device is what? You can select the fan. So you can select whatever the that is whatever the intent you have created, whatever the data you have labeled. So all these things you have to label the data, you have to save the changes. So don't forget to save the changes here. Okay, that is very very important. So once you have saved the changes, you can see. Okay, so in the left pane you can see that the schema definition, and first you have to just verify, go to the schema definition. This is what schema definition, this is labeling, this is training a job. Click on this, you can see you have defined the 4 schemas. For that you can think about multiple schema to be added. Okay, so as of now for the demo purpose I'm just showing this. You can find you have added 4 utterances, you have labeled 4 utterances here. Okay, so you can select switch off, like you can even create a new intent. Okay, add a new intent, switch off. Okay, switch off, make it like switch off. Okay, add the intent and then give some like give some utterances for that. Okay, for switch off I'm going to add like switch off the fan. I'll give only 2. Okay, turn off the fan, switch off the light. I'm just giving only 3 1. And what I have to do, I have to map it. Okay, I have to label it properly, I have to label it with the proper entity. Okay, so this is what, this is a device. Okay, so it is learning, you can see learned, it is showing, right? Device. And once if you save this, it will show you, you can see that count is changed to 7. Okay, so it will be learned, it will learn something. Even if you want to go ahead with something specifically, you can make it like late, you can create it for specifically for you can also make it like, let us try this. Okay, light. Okay, I'm just changing it to light, I'm just changing it to, okay, I don't have the one, so you can make it as a fan. Okay, okay, if I save this, you can see light will be changed to 1 and device is learned to 1. Now this is the first 2 steps, right? So we have defined the schema, we have also defined the data, we have labeled the data. Now we have to go to the training the model. So this is what the complete steps to do. Okay, so schema definition, data label, training the job. So let us click on the training the job. So now our intents are ready, our entities are ready. You have to define, we have defined everything perfectly, and we have to train the conversational language accordingly. Okay, so train, you have to click on the start training a job. Okay, so just click on the start training a job. It will ask you for the model, project 1, model 1. Okay, you have to give the proper name for the model. Just I'm just giving model 1. Okay, and what is the training mode? What is the standard, free, or it's an advanced training? So let us go with the standard training because it's only available, we have selected only English. So if you have selected multi-language, you have to go with the advanced level of project. So let me just give standard training free. And if you just come to the data splitting, okay, because you have what, you have to split the data between training and validation. So what you have to do in order to test the accuracy, you have to split the data. This is what automatically split and test the data from the training. So this is by default it will be, and it is 80% of the training and 20% of the testing. We already discussed about what is this validation in the first session, that is machine learning, auto ML. So likewise it is automatically splitting that. And manual testing is not enabled because the utterances and testing we don't have anything. Manual split is not available, enabled. Okay, because because we have to enable that previously. As of now I just want to go ahead with the automatic testing itself. And then finally you have to click on this training model. Okay, this is the training model, and you can see here these are the things which you have to do: data splitting, and then the what type of training mode you have to go. If you go with the standard, then it will be fast. Okay, like compared to the previous one, just click train. What happens? Okay, you need some 10 utterances for your project if you want to go with the training automatically. Okay, so that is why it's showing you have not met the recommended minimum number of in your project. Okay, so you need at least 10 utterances. I think we have only did some 7. Let us see. Okay, let us see like how it is working. So it will take some time. You can see the status here. It is taking 100. It has to evaluate the model. It will take some time to evaluate it. So now you can see training succeeded. Okay, training succeeded here. Your model 1 training is fine. Once you get this succeeded result, you can just you can go ahead to training the deploy, like you can go ahead with the deploying the model or testing the model. Let us see like what is the next step, like model performance. This is in a preview mode actually. Okay, this is actually in the preview mode. This won't be there in the lab session if you're looking into AI 900 lab. But let us see what is the performance. Okay, because since we have given only 7 utterances, of course everything will be 100 percentage. Okay, and you can see here that this is f1 is 100, recall everything is 100. Okay, and if you just scroll down, you can see not enough intents label in the training set. We recommend you to 15 utterances per intent in your training data. Okay, so note this, you need at least 15 utterances, and missing intents when the testing data lacks, then you have to go ahead and do the add, you have to add more intents for that. Okay, so you need few more intents, and also you need few more data to be labeled. Okay, but whatever we are training it, it is distinct. That is what it is showing. Okay, you can find it here. These are all distinct. Okay, so as because we have only few data, it is showing that the precision and recall are 100 percentage. Okay, so let us go and we can click on testing deployment. We are not going to deploy the model. Okay, let us first test the model. Here in the left side you can see we have these steps to do. So you can just click on the testing deployed model. Okay, so you can select what is the deployment name. Okay, we have to deploy the model first, and then only we can test it. Deploying your model, so add deployment, you can create a deployment name, model 1 intent. So I'm just giving a deployment name, model 1 deploy. Okay, and you have to select the trained model here and click deploy. So it will take some time to deploy. Okay, so which means that before testing you have to first make it, you have to deploy it. Okay, so this is the next step. What is that? To use your trained model in a client application, you have to deploy it as an endpoint in which the client application can send new utterances from which intents and entities will be predicted. Okay, now we are deploying it. I think, yes, model 1, you can find it. What is the thing? It is deployed, I think. Okay, so your data is deployed now. You can go to the testing deployment, select the model 1 deployment, enter your own text. So you have to enter your own text here. Switch the light on. Okay, I'm just giving the switch the light on, and you have to click on the run utterances. Sorry, run the test. It is showing top intent switch on. Okay, we have given the top intent as switch on underscore, right? And what are the entities we have created? Light. And here you can see it is showing light. Okay, this is what the entity. So let me just go ahead with a turn on the light. Okay, and let me run the test. Let us see what it is trying to do. Switch on, because we have also given the utterances like, we have labeled like switch on. Okay, and the light, it is finding the light. Okay, switch on the fan. Okay, let us try to run the test here, what it is showing. So device, we haven't specifically made the entities as fan. Okay, we have generally made it as device. So it is showing device. And what is the top intent? Switch on. Okay, I'm just making us off the fan. Okay, I'm just making it as off the fan. Let us see what it is showing. So see, even though we haven't trained that, we haven't labeled it properly, but it is showing top intent is switch off. Okay, and the device is fan, because I have mentioned like fan is the device. Okay, and under that you can see the original text as well. So now we have successfully configured a conversational language project and defined the entities, intents, and utterances. So we have we tried various model, even this model, which is this one. Okay, this particular thing which is not mentioned in the AI 900 lab as of now when I'm teaching, might be added in the future. This model performance, which is a preview mode, we have also discussed, we have also seen how it works. Okay, this is what the complete step how you have to do. Not only this, even in any of your like machine learning or AI, so you have to first properly define it, you have to label it, you have to train the job, you have to deploy that, and you have to finally test it. Okay, this is what the complete step. What is the final thing is what? Finally you have to clean it, delete the resource whatever you have created, so that you will not get confused, like it will not take much, it will not consume the cost and price, because we are doing a cloud environment. So it is recommended to delete it once you have created it. Okay, so I'll meet you soon in the next video. So meanwhile, if you want 50 percentage voucher, okay, 50 percentage coupon for your exam, for any of your exams, so you have to do one thing which is free. Okay, so what you have to do is what? Go to the Microsoft Learn Expert. I'll be sharing that link in the comment section as well. So you have to go to this learning room. Okay, click on this learning room, and what you have to do is what? You have to submit a form. Okay, this is my learning room, AI and enterprise business application business central. Click here, and you can see the form. Okay, so you have to submit the form, complete the entire form, submit it, and join my learning room. Once you have joined, just let me know, I'll share you the 50 percentage coupon for your exam. Okay, I'll meet you in my learning room. And this is my channel, you can find it here. In this channel I'll be updating everything about the Azure AI services. You can see that here, you can find all the videos. I'll be going live, and I'll be updating all the custom everything here in in this playlist or in this channel, so you can subscribe to the channel and make use of it. Okay, thank you, take care. I'll meet you soon with the next session tomorrow on Speech Studio. We will learn about what is Azure AI speech and how it really works, and it's open